Most of Murder in Parliament is a solo affair. I've played all the guitars, sorted out the drums, that sort of stuff, but not entirely. There are two people worth talking about who've helped out, Chrissy Caulfield and Alan Vaughan. So Chrissy played violin on Firecracker and Embers. Firecracker was originally written for a string quartet, but it was much slower. By the time I've speeded it up and sent it over to Chrissy, it was, well, she got back and said, Tom, this is not really possible to play. How about we change the key, maybe cut out some of the sections, it will sound better on guitar anyway, and she was right. So yeah, changed the key. I think we ended up knocking it up a semitone from where it was originally written, and yeah, we just for some of it we didn't play the violin part at all, we just had the guitar do some of it. It's turned out really well. I really like that piece, particularly sort of the arpeggios in the quieter section, in the middle and near the end as well. So, Chrissy also helped out on Embers. Embers is a pretty improvisatory piece. It's got a written score, and it asks the player to perform two things. One is to create a minute of sort of background that's supposed to sound like the dying embers of a fire, and then the other bit is there's a pretty free version of a melody, and the performer's asked to perform that as well, and then you have to record both, send them over to the producer, who then sticks them together. So Chrissy did that, Alan did that, and I did that, and then once I had all the 6 elements, 2 from each of us, I sort of stuck them together and figured out what order they were going to go in. And that brings me to Alan as well. So Alan played bass on everything that's got bass on, so everything apart from Kettle and Cauldron. And I just listen to it, he's fantastic, isn't he? There's some amazing stuff on there, some of it really rocks, some of it there's a proper sort of Steve Harris out of Iron Maiden vibe, particularly on the heavier tracks. So yeah, could not have made the album without those two. I think they really make it what it is.